Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome back to another new movie review. In tonight's movie review, I'm going to be doing a movie review on this A24 film, which it actually first came out back in May, and of course, I never got around into watching this movie until it just came on HBO Max earlier today. So, I actually just got done watching this movie on HBO Max like earlier tonight. And so, this review is going to be on the A24 film Friendship. Yep. Friendship is about a reclusive man named Craig Waterman who meets his new neighbor, like Austin, of course, and Austin, who's played by Paul Rudd. And of course, Craig Waterman's played by Tim Robinson, by the way. So the two together, they form an unexpected friendship. And so for the remainder of the movie, as their friendship grows, and so does like Craig's obsession with Austin. And of course, Craig becomes overly obsessed with Austin, and that things don't really go their way, as some situations happen here and there. And yeah, because the friendship between Austin and Craig is kind of almost like a cat and mouse friendship, like almost like in the similar ways of Tom and Jerry a little bit, where at first they don't like each other, while at the same time they do at the same time for most of the movie. And of course we get like a bunch of like, and then of course we get some issues that happen like here and there for this movie. So yeah. And sometimes this movie can get pretty raunchy at times, even though it's not really that explicit. But yeah. So, like I said, I just got done watching this movie on HBO Max earlier tonight, and so when I first heard about this movie, I didn't really know much about this film. Like back at the time when this movie first came out in early May as a limited release, because when this movie first came out in May, I hardly knew anything about it since I was more focused on celebrating Mother's Day with my mom back in May, and of course, like I didn't really know much about this film. I mean, of course, I did see trailers to this film a couple times, like maybe even a few, but then after hearing decent things about this movie, I've been hearing pretty decent and great things about this film since this movie got really good reviews, and so the movie is finally available to stream on HBO Max. So yep, and so I just got done watching it earlier tonight, like I just said, and so after watching this film, I gotta say, Friendship was actually a great movie from A24. Yeah, I actually thought Friendship was actually a really great film. And sometimes this movie can get pretty funny at times, and even though this movie is played out as like a dark comedy film, there are some times where this movie can get pretty funny. Sometimes maybe it's maybe like a little bit raunchy. Some parts maybe a little bit raunchy, while at the same time some parts maybe laugh a little bit. And yeah, and of course, some of the dialogue did sound pretty a little bit funny, kind of like you heard in the trailers. Like there was like a little Marvel movie reference, like where Craig is like, there's this new Marvel movie that's supposed to be really crazy that everyone's been saying on social media, like, yeah, and yeah, and plus this is actually another A24 film that had Paul Rudd in it. Paul Rudd was actually in another A24 film I saw in theaters called Death of a Unicorn, which I thought, even though Death of a Unicorn was considered one of A24's more weaker films, I didn't really mind Death of a Unicorn. I thought that was pretty good in my opinion. But I gotta say, I think Paul Rudd's character here was actually even better than his character in like Death of a Unicorn, like which was another A24 film that he was in. But I gotta say, the two actors who play Craig and Austin, I gotta say both these characters were actually they were actually pretty like, I gotta say Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd actually did a great job playing Austin and Craig in this film. I think Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, I think they both were a lot of fun together. Yeah, because like even in some scenes in the film, it looked like they were having fun, and plus there was and and even when it comes to the bad situations and bad incidents that happen in this film, like like there was actually a scene where Craig actually breaks into Austin's house, and of course Craig goes around the house, and of course he also finds like a golden gun. Yeah, and then of course then of course he almost gets caught, and of course he escapes, and yeah. Oh yeah, and it's like, and since this movie's been out for like a few months, I'm sure it's probably not a spoiler at this point, but I also did like the dream sequence involving Craig at a Subway restaurant, like, where he comes across an older Austin working at a Subway, and which I thought was a pretty interesting dream sequence, and it's not a spoiler. I guess it's not a spoiler at this point because I know this has been out for many months ago, and of course the movie just became available on streaming. Like, I didn't want to risk renting money to spend this movie on demand. Of course, even though the renting price was pretty cheap, like I didn't really want to risk like renting money or something like that, for my budget. But you guys already get it at this point. That's just something like, just forget it. But anyway, as for this movie though, besides Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, I actually saw Kate Mara was actually in the film. I thought she did pretty good. Kate Mara. Jack Dylan Grazer was in the film too, the same kid from Shazam. Yeah, Jack Dylan Grazer. I thought he did pretty good. The performances were really good, and it's like, oh yeah, and of course that ending too. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, guys. I gotta say the ending itself, I thought it was really spot on, and of course it's what made this movie really pay off in the end. Yeah, and it's basically how Paul Rudd's character, like Austin, he works as like a weatherman who reports the weather, and yeah, and all I can say is this is probably one of A24's good films to come out this year as well. Yeah, and of course the runtime's not even that long either. The runtime's only like an hour and 41 minutes, and I thought the pacing itself, I thought it was well paced. I thought the runtime went by pretty quick. Yeah, so, and I gotta say, the writer and director of this film, Andrew DeYoung, Andrew DeYoung actually does a good job writing and directing this film. The way he puts effort into his work, and this is actually his directorial debut as well, which is nice to hear, and pretty interesting. So yeah, guys, Friendship I thought was a great movie overall, and I'm gonna give Friendship 4 stars out of 5. If you're interested in checking out this movie, then I recommend giving this one a watch. Like, you can watch this with your best friends out there, like best real life friends. But maybe at the same time it might be better if you just watch this movie alone. Like, even if you have like best friends around, then yeah. I mean, I got plenty of friends in real life. Like, outside of social media, I got plenty of friends in real life, like Justin, Josh, Anderson, Corey, Chase, Tyler Auer. Yeah, those are like examples of my real true friends in real life. Like, my best buds in real life. Now, I'm not talking about like the social media. I'm not talking about the so-called like friends on social media, like on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Not those kinds of friends. I'm talking about my real life friends and family. Like, well, not really, not mostly family, but well, you guys already get it at this point. So there you have it, guys. Friendship is great. I recommend it if you're interested in checking it out. It's available on streaming or digital or whatever. So there you have it, guys. That's my review on Friendship. Hope you guys liked it. And with that being said, thanks for watching as always. And if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And also make sure to like this video as well. With that being said, until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.